A super fluffy sponge cake, full of flavor, full of texture, made without any fat with just 3 ingredients, and honestly, it's amazing. Look, wow, it looks great, and look how fluffy it is.
How fluffy it is!
Has this ever happened to you? You want to make a sponge cake and suddenly realize you don't have any baking powder? No worries! With my grandma's recipe and this little trick, you'll get a fluffy, delicious, and tall sponge cake without using baking powder.
There you have the ingredients. I'll give you a heads up. There are only 3 and you probably already have them at home, so don't worry. 200 grams of flour, 200 grams of sugar, and 6 eggs, large eggs. First step, essential and very simple. Separate the egg whites from the yolks of our 6 eggs. Here we go. Let's see if you do it better than I do. So let's go with the egg whites. We're gonna whip them until they're super stiff with a mixer because doing it by hand would be really hard. So I recommend using an electric mixer. Let's do it like this. Come on, keep up the pace. We'll have it ready in no time. This is the secret to making the cake rise without baking powder. Egg whites well whipped. This is it. This is how we want them to look. See? These egg whites are super airy, fluffy. Looks like you could eat them already. Now it's time for the yolks. 6 egg yolks. And we're gonna add the sugar. 200 grams of sugar? Question, is it el azúcar or la azúcar? Come on, I put in 1 whisk instead of 2 so it doesn't splash everywhere. And let's get started. I should have used a bigger bowl. And as soon as it starts to turn a whitish color, going from yellow to whitish, that's when it's ready. Just like that, quick and easy, we keep going. And now comes the crucial moment of the recipe. We have to mix the 2 mixtures. It's important to do it gently. I'm going to use a kitchen spatula. A ladle would also work, but always carefully. Here we go. Slowly, so the air we added to the egg whites doesn't escape, because that's what will make our cake fluffy. So just keep mixing, little by little, calmly, take your time. And after about 30 or 40 seconds of mixing, it will look like this. Look, nice and fluffy. It's time to add the flour. And if you want your cake to be super fluffy, don't forget to sift it with a strainer like this. It'll only take you a few seconds and the result is worth it. Much fluffier and much tastier. Here we go, let's add our 200 grams of flour little by little. There we have it. And once you have it, you mix it in gently with smooth folding motions. Always gentle and folding if you want a fluffy cake. That's what my grandma used to say. When everything is well mixed, it'll look like this. Already with that cake batter texture. Wow, super tempting. Let's get the pan ready. This one is 23 centimeters, but a 22 or 21 centimeter pan would also work and your cake would turn out even taller. If it's non-stick, you don't need anything else. But if you're cautious like me, you can grease the pan with a bit of olive oil, butter, or vegetable margarine, and that way you make sure it comes out perfectly. Here we go. We pour our batter into the pan. There it goes. Look how it falls. And I assure you that this sponge cake is wonderful. You have to make it. We preheat the oven to 180 degrees Celsius. And when it reaches the temperature, in it goes. It will be ready in 35 minutes. Well, the sponge cake is in the oven and I'll show you the result in a moment. And in the meantime, since you've made it this far, make sure to subscribe if you haven't already, because we're about to reach 1 million. Give me a like, it helps me a lot. And tell me in the comments which sponge cake you want me to make next. I'm going to make all of them and I read all the comments. So go ahead, in the comments. Well, here we have our sponge cake nicely baked, see? Wow! Wait for it to cool down and then you can take it out of the mold. Don't rush, give it time. The sponge cake is already cool, so I'm going to take it out of the mold. With this mold, it's super easy because it comes apart. Look, wow, pure perfection. Well, that's it. Let's get it on the table. There you have a super fluffy sponge cake, full of flavor, with great texture, made without fat, with just 3 ingredients. And frankly, it's wonderful. Look, wow, it looks amazing. And look how fluffy it is. Wonderful. I love it.
You have to make this recipe. It's super easy. It always turns out well. It's affordable. It's my grandmother's recipe. It has everything it needs to be a hit. Eh?
Non più tra i farfalloni amoroso, notte e giorno di torno girano, delle belle turbando al riposo, Narcisetto Adugino d'amor. Delle belle turbando al riposo, Narcisetto